Today's video is a digital marbling and fluid art tutorial that you can do on your iPad with that Procreate app. I've already shown you this type of artwork in a previous video, and if you haven't watched it yet, I very much recommend that you watch this first, because this video is the advanced version where I'm going to show you some additional tips and tricks of how you can take this and make it even more beautiful. We're going to create an artwork that looks similar to this one, where we're going to take the original colors and we're going to change the colors, and then we're also going to add some glitter to our piece. Right, so now we're going to get started and we're going to select the screen size canvas. You can use any canvas size that you like, it doesn't matter too much. And then the Procreate brushes that we are going to use are the IPL marbling brushes. If you followed my original marbling and fluid art tutorial, then you would already have these brushes. And that's another reason why I thought it would be really nice to do another tutorial, so you can learn what else you can do with the brushes as well. And then we also have that color palette that comes with the brushes, and we're going to reuse this color palette as well. We are going to start on a new layer, and this time we are going to select the darkest blue color and we're going to fill the layer with blue, and then we're going to select that second blue color here from our color palette, and we are going to use that wet marble brush. And so now we are going to paint in some strokes here, and this time we are going to start on the edges, and then next up we're going to change the color to the light blue color, and we adding some light blue color here over the top, and we're going to add it from both sides like this. And then we are also going to choose the light yellow, and we are going to add this into the middle here. And you can see now we're painting all the colors on the same layer right at the start. And then we are going to select the liquify tool from our adjustment menu here, and we are going to select the push function. The size is set to 49%, and then pressure, distortion and momentum are all set to the max. And so now we're going to start with our scrambling egg technique again. So we're going to mix around the color and we're going to see what type of effects we can achieve here. And then of course we can also use the expand tool and maybe make the brush size a little bit bigger. And then you can go back to the push tool as well and push the colors around until you are happy with that color selection. And of course you can go back now and you can add some more color if you don't like the colors that are currently on the screen. But in order to not make this tutorial too long, and in order to show the additional technique, I'm just going to leave it like this now. So now we're going to add a new layer. We are going to select the white color and we're going to fill the screen with white. And then we are going to go back to adjustments and we're going to select noise, and now we are going to drag on the screen until we hit 60%, and then we're going to change this layer to color burn. This is the same technique that we've used in my original video. If you find that this is going really fast, then I very much recommend that you watch my first video, because I'm going into much more details in that video. Alright, so now these colors are not too bad, but I want them to be a little bit more like the ocean. I feel like this should be a little bit more greenish, and then the yellow, I want that to be a little bit more on the golden side to kind of remind me of the sand. So we're going to go back to the first layer, and then we are going to select hue, saturation and brightness, and now we can change all the colors at once here. So now we're going to slide this ever so slightly to the left, and you can see now how this is turning this a little bit more into the green. And then we're going to turn up the saturation as well. And now this is bringing up the greens in the composition a lot more. You can also play with the brightness a little bit, and I think this is looking pretty good now. Another adjustment that you can make to your colors, instead of using hue, saturation, brightness, is you can also use curves. And this is a very interesting way of changing colors. You can see here that in the curves section we have gamma, and you can change the value by dragging the curve up and down. You can add additional points at different parts of this curve here, but then you can also change the individual color channels to change the colors individually. And this is very interesting as well. So you can see now how the orange only changes in certain areas of the image, and then you can even enhance the blues and the oranges a little bit more. And now comes the fun part. Now we're going to add some glitter to this, and the first thing we need to do is actually find a glitter overlay. So we're going to go on to our Safari web browser, and we're going to go to Unsplash. I really like Unsplash for finding images and finding backgrounds, and the beautiful thing about Unsplash is that they are all free. So now we're going to search for gold glitter texture. and there's a lot of different textures that come up here. And I really like this one here. This is beautiful. This is by Katie Harp. So we're going to download this one for free, which is beautiful. I'm going to download and say thank you very much to Katie Harp for providing this image. And then we can go back to Procreate and we can add this image now. So you're going to go insert file because it's been downloaded to our files. So we're going to add it here and we're going to turn it around and cover the whole screen. And so what we need to do is add parts where this glitter texture is going to get applied. We're not going to use it just now, so I'm going to turn off the visibility, but what I'm going to do instead is select the original image and then add a new layer. And then we also want to mark this layer as the reference layer. And then we're going to go back on our new layer. And so now we're going to add some additional color onto this layer by just dragging it into the image like this. And for this, you can choose any color that you want. You want to choose a contrasting color so that you can see what you're filling. So now we're going to drag this in and then we are going to fill some parts of the image like this. And we can do this in several spots just to see where it would look nice and where we would like to have some gold. So anything that's red is going to end up being gold. And this is looking pretty good. And so now it comes to the trick. So now we are going to turn on our golden layer again, but we are going to change this to be a clipping mask. And you can see now how all the parts that were red before have now been filled with that gold color. And that's how easy it is to add a little bit of sparkle to these type of images. So now what you can do as well with that sparkle part, so if you have this selected, you could change the color of this. So if you didn't want this to be gold, you could also make this silver. So we're going to go back to hue, saturation and brightness. You could just turn down the saturation of this and you can see now how it's sort of more silver if you would like it like this. Can make it a bit lighter as well to make it sparkle ever so slightly more, although I think I've preferred the gold, so I'm just going to cancel. So now it's gold, but of course you can change the gold as well, so maybe make it ever so slightly brighter, and then you can also change the saturation and the color of your glitter as well. So if you wanted this to be rose gold, you could change the slider here and maybe make it pink or rose gold or any of the other colors that you would like your sparkles to be. All right, and there you have it. This is how you can quickly transform your fluid art or digital marbling piece into something even more special. I really hope you found this little tutorial useful. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And then I'm also going to put up my previous video with the original marbling and digital fluid tutorial, so you can watch that as well if you haven't seen it yet. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.